Hi everyone, this is Yulianna Avdeeva here, 7:30 in Central Europe, and I am very happy to welcome you to our weekly stream. So as you can see, I am back from Wuppertal, which was my first trip since November, indeed. So it is really, I was really so moved to be there. That was very special moment to be back in a great concert hall and to be surrounded by musicians on stage, on this beautiful stage in Wuppertal. And thank you so much for asking. That was indeed a great moment to be there, and I enjoyed very much the performance, the live performance, which has been recorded there of Rachmaninoff second piano concerto. Hi all, it's great to see you, Alexis, Annelies, Marek, Roberto, Frank, Jakub, hello. I hope that you all are also having a good week so far. Hi Hazel, and yes, yes, I'm back here, and tonight I'm very excited to talk about a very important topic with you, which is practice. Well, I was very moved to receive all your questions, which were so many, and I really appreciate that so much that you openly ask about maybe some challenges which you have, and I'm sure that we will be doing another session about the practice, because this is of course something what is important to all of us. Hi Eric, hi Antoinette and Annuler, Mako, hello Makiko. It's really very nice to see you. I hope that you all are also doing well. So the question of practicing, I think that of course also during the lifetime the practice habits are also changing. That's what I feel, because I also see that also in the last 15 years my practice rituals, I would say, have also changed a little bit. And I don't think that I think it's good that there are, that you discover things about yourself, you discover things what is important to you, which points you need to really, let's say, take care of every day, and where you feel like you feel more comfortable and you feel more relaxed. And I think that basically, of course, everyone is developing his or her personal practice style, which is, I think, also relevant, because nobody knows oneself better than oneself. I mean, also the body, the technique, the basic, I mean, the fundament of your piano playing. But of course, there are always some things which remain in the same way during at least a long period of time. And well, I will just start with the question basically about all around practice, because these are questions which are very important to all of us. So Francois and Misuzo were asking about how I am starting my practice session. Do I play any exercises, or maybe some Bach or studies? Well, I have to say that when I practice, well, since 1 year, I will be very honest, of course, since 1 year, since we have our Bach project, I am really starting my everyday practice with Bach, which is somehow a really amazing thing to do, because, well, you might remember we were discussing that many artists, also Chopin himself, was starting his daily practice with well-tempered clavier, and was also recommending that to his students. And what I feel is that once I start my practice day with Bach, it's somehow it's a great feeling which comes over me, because it's on one hand, it feels very good for the hands, because then indeed it feels that I am awake, that I am ready to practice, and also for the soul. It's somehow this music gives so much positive energy, positive spirit, and this makes me somehow feel very, very happy and excited about coming things which I will be practicing after Bach. But in my personal experience, indeed, now I'm doing that, playing Bach every day before starting my daily practice, and this is really something, probably the best thing what I can do for myself. Of course, I think every artist also has his own ideas how to start practicing. For instance, Sergei Rachmaninov was really playing 2 days Hanon exercises before he was starting. At least that's what he says himself also, that every day he was playing Hanon, which is, of course, absolutely amazing. So you just to imagine that the pianist of this, level, let's say, this space level, was really playing every day the exercises. I know other artists who were also during their lifetime playing every day all Chopin studies before, all 24, before they were practicing the program which they wanted to practice. And this is, I think it also belongs to this, indeed, to this ritual which you decide to do, which you feel which you feel good, which brings you to the mood that you are happy to practice. Of course, not every day is you feel that you're happy to practice, but anyway. And Jamie is saying 1 week about Prelude and Fugue, over 1 year, all 24, and then make the cycle again. Right? Well, this is, of course, sounds indeed like a great idea. Empfindsamer Stil. Yes, exactly. Rolf, hi, great to see you. So I think I can only share my experience. Starting the practice with Bach is just great. Aquarabel was asking, how do I organize practice when I have many pieces? Yes, it is indeed very important then to structure, to have a kind of schedule for your practice. If you know that you have, let's say, 5 pieces, that you exactly know how much time you will spend with each particular piece. Because I think it is necessary to have this kind of organization, because otherwise sometimes you lose the feeling of time, and then you practice one piece for so long, and then you have no power and also no time to practice another. So you have to really be very clear that you divide your time in sections, and you decide, I practice. Of course, it's not, the timing is not it should not be like ideal, but at least that you know exactly what you have to practice and for how long. Hi Kyoko, good morning. Hi Jean Roll, it's nice to see you. Martin, hello. Ronald. So the structure is important, especially because this is also a question which I receive often. How do you practice when you have not much time? So in this case, of course, I have to decide with having not much time. It's mostly, of course, connected with travel days. In a normal concert life, or with some other activities which you have. So if you have 2 hours to practice, then I pick the places, the sections from the pieces which I know that I need to have a look on, that it is necessary, because of many reasons. First of all, because I feel more quiet after that, or whatever. But I decide these sections, these passages, these bars I have to practice, and then, of course, I'm doing that. Of course, yes, the better you know the piece, the better you know which part of it really, which parts of it you have to practice every day, and which parts of, or let's say, which sections or which passages you have to take care every day, and some of them are just more relaxed, and then you can have a look on them just randomly. But this is, of course, in every piece there are. It doesn't matter how many times you play the piece, but still there are always places which you somehow still have to have a look on. And then Regina is asking, I think that was very also interesting question, how to play a piece as furious as you played it for the first time, even after years. And here I have to say, of course, it is, for me, it was very fascinating to work with Maestro Herbert Blumstedt, and I was performing the G major Mozart piano concerto with him. And then I don't know how often he played this piece, but before the first orchestra rehearsal, we were having a rehearsal, just two of us, and just for more than 1 hour we were trying out different articulation, dynamics, phrasing, and he was, although he knew the piece so well and he performed it so often, still he was searching for new ideas. So he was like really discovering the piece again and again. This very similar experience I had also with Maestro Franz Brüggen, performing both piano concertos by Chopin, which Maestro Brüggen knew also inside out. He could conduct it in, I mean, from the beginning to the end and turn it around. However, and still also he was always discovering new things in the score. And this is, I think, is exactly what I want to say, that every piece is a treasure, and there are so many hidden treasure in every piece which we play. And of course, I think the idea is that you never feel like you know the piece till the very end, because there are so many things which you can discover in the piece. Doesn't matter how often you played it, there are so many details in it. And also with the just with maybe you had a new experience. So basically, performing on working on piece, even if you played it so many times, still should feel like it's a new experience, as you would be discovering these pieces, you would be playing it for the first time, and literally turning every stone in it, every phrase, just double checking the score. Did I read the score correct? Do I have new understanding of reading the score? So these are very important elements which keep also this inspiration, because you discover things, you find all those new thoughts. And I think there is never, the working on piece is a never-ending process. I think it's not possible to say, I learned the piece, it's done, I don't have to work on it, I just play it. Every time when you open the score, you really go inside the piece, you find things. And this is really something special also about music. Hi, Jeff. I see that you have your second vaccine. This is really great news. I'm happy to hear that you got it, and it hopefully the life will be a little bit getting more in the usual direction. So keep my fingers crossed. Please keep well. Hi, Masatoshi. Hi to Sapporo. It's I know that it's late there or early, and appreciate that you came. So M. Sousa Ribeiro and Liz were asking how to improve concentration, focus while practicing, and how to practice with inspiration. I think that practice is not only moving fingers or improving the technical part, because still I think that the most important issue also in practicing is that you learn also to bring your mind, to bring your soul into this very special mood when we practice not to be able just to move our fingers, we practice to be able to express ourselves in the music with the help of our fingers, with the help of the technique. But the technique is not the first reason why we practice. It's just like, that like we that we learn how to move our tongue in order to pronounce the words, because if we do not know how to move our muscles, we don't know how to pronounce the words. This is the same thing. And I think that I was very lucky, because my teacher, Yulianna Ivanova, I told you about her, she was always saying that every technical passage or every technical issue in every piece is always possible to solve with the musical sense, if you find the musical sense behind it. So it means that that she always saying that I should not just mechanically repeat even very difficult passage, because I don't think that the composers were composing extremely hard passages just to be mean to us and give to us some really very difficult tasks. I think that there is a musical message, a musical reason in it why composer decided to take this expression, and that's why I think it is also very helpful for this head and for the soul, not just to get so fixed on some technical issues, because once we concentrate on the how we move our fingers, they will not move in the right speed and on the right place, because that's not I think it's still not the original sense of the music. It still has this musical message, this emotional message, and it is important to find it, and then it will be much easier to find the technical solution for any problem. And now I just wanted to having said that, I would like to maybe go to some small examples of the pieces you were asking about. And well, one question which is also appearing very often is about the how to get more free playing the piano. And I think, Jeff, I was reading your comment. I can play with feeling until the notes are 100% in me. Sure, but they will be in you, as you are saying, once you have you find a certain sense in it, that it's that there is it can be a visual, musical, a phrasing, even if in a very quick technical passage, or that where it goes to, that it has a clear form, a clear idea, which really literally transfers this musical message, because then it will the passage will be much easier to play. So about the freedom in a practice, or basically in a piano position, I think it is really crucial that you feel comfortable when you play piano, that you feel your body is relaxed, that there is no tension in your body. Of course, it's not always possible, but it is crucial, because any tension in the body automatically leads to some tension in the sound, or in some musical result. So what I think is sometimes very helpful, when you feel that your back, for instance, is, well, first of all, it's very important to ask yourself during you play or during your practice, do I feel free? Are my shoulders down? How is my back? Do I feel relaxed? Are my hands, my arms, is everything in a good, comfortable position? Sometimes it is helpful to play on the piano, let's say, to put to put the chair into the piano and really to play like this, that your back is absolutely relaxed, because then you have this natural weight in your arms, and the sound is actually, this the first reason is of course because once the arms are free, the muscles are free, the sound is more round, the sound is more free, and you can express everything in this sound. Robbie Knapp is asking for some relaxation exercises for shoulders and us, and also about breathing. Breathing is a very important, in my opinion, very important point, because sometimes I know that when I have a very loud, long section, I forget to breathe. This is not the best thing to do. It's exactly like when you are running or when you do some sport. Don't forget to breathe, because when you breathe, your muscles get relaxed and you have more power, you have oxygen. So this is exactly the same thing, but it's the best thing to learn is just to really to think about that, to ask yourself, when did I breathe last time? Am I relaxed? Are my shoulders in the right position? Because once you feel that it goes up, stop, relax, feel free. And I think it is really important to feel your body, that you feel when there is any tension, that you stop, that you make a little break. Do not play if you feel any pain. I think it's very not the best thing to do, because then the muscle get really tensed. So once you feel that your hand is tired, make a little break, make some movement, relaxing the hands, and then go on. This is actually coming to one of the. Actually, I was very. you were challenging me, because one of the most popular questions was about the Opus 10 number 1 study by Frédéric Chopin, which is indeed, of course, one of the. It is a challenging piece, and these are just some thoughts which I had about it, how to practice, because this is of course also a piece where sometimes it happens that the arm gets a kind of tired, and this is important to always to just to take care of that. In this study, this is what I mean with the musical message. First of all, we have of course this bass, po, 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 and of course we have, it says only forte. So having said that, it means that in our head, already during the practice, we have to think that the left hand should not just, it's physics, it's if we play the left hand too loud, the right hand will have so many troubles trying to get louder than the left hand. So first of all, dynamics. We have a look on the register. The left hand is playing in a low register. It means that we'll have lots of volume. Right hand is less, has small notes, difficult passages. So how I would basically practice almost everything, starting always with a slower tempo. So that you really can feel the hand, you can feel the position. So that you, first of all, that you rotate, you have that the body learns to rotate the hand in the right time. We have legato, and of course the most crucial point is connecting the fingers 5 and the thumb, so that you literally feel every finger giving over the weight from one finger to another, because once you feel it in a slow tempo, then you will gradually be able to play it faster and faster. This is just about the practice. But I think that the main idea of this or not main idea, but the idea in this study is not just, you know, the practicing the right hand, but it has such a great spirit, this music. So it means that we have those amazing fireworks in every second bar, and to create a long phrase, again, we need to understand which harmonies we have here. So it's basically it's according to that you decide which phrasing you go. So you do not think, I would not think on every single 16 note or every quarter, but you think in long lines. You think that this the first phrase is around 16 bars. So, and this makes you think in a longer terms. You do not concentrate on every single finger, but you think about the phrase, about the music, where it goes, what does it express, where it goes to. And indeed this register balance between the hands, it's very important actually in every piece, because once we have this very heavy basses, it's always this tendency to play them as loud as possible, but then we literally kill our right hand. So about the getting tired, if you always divide it in smaller sections, the entire etude, and then you practice the small sections first, and then you play the you put them together, and every time you can add one more section, then the hand will really get used to it without getting so tired. So this but anyway, the studies are always very, very challenging, and you know that that I somehow I did not really feel like I would like to play studies every day since many years, but maybe I should. Well, I will think about that seriously. Now another so many interesting questions. For instance, Christoph was asking about the final movement of the Chopin second sonata, where we have this, especially about the pedaling. Pedaling is of course, a very, how should I, kind of, I think it's actually more important than it seems to be sometimes, because the pedal is the effect creator. This is the part where it gets really great. So of course, again, the final movement is well, both hands are playing. So we have already quite kind of challenging indeed parallel movement in both hands, and it's difficult to get it in sotto voce. So again, we start practice slowly and legato, and then really connecting all fingers. And it's always for me, it's not, doesn't matter if you finally play it when you play it in a concert already, but it's great to find those polyphonic lines which are hidden here. And here, because this will finally, when you will play it in tempo, once you really decided or found those hidden lines for yourself, you will have these triplets, they will have another structure. They will be more like how to say, more, the landscape of them will be richer. This is about this. And about pedaling, of course it depends on what you would like to what kind of effect, musical effect, you would like to have here. It's for practicing, I would always say, also actually in Opus 10 number 1, for practicing, it's very healthy for the ears to practice with no pedal at all, because then you really hear which fingers are weak, which fingers are strong, where are some places which are not comfortable, maybe the fingering is not right. And here, in this case, you hear when the hands are playing really ideally together, and where not yet, where the left hand is a little bit, I don't know, not so well yet. And of course, the left hand I always practiced separately. So just left hand, that it feels exactly the same, comfortable, same free as the right hand as well. And with the right pedal, you can play as according to your imagination. If you feel it more like really a kind of fog, or maybe a kind of wind or something, you can if you feel it as a fog, you can put it like 1/16 pedal from the very beginning. Slight touch of the pedal, which you keep, and just changing it a little bit. If you feel it more like indeed this wind, then you can put it according to where you would like the wind to turn. It all depends on your feeling, and there are so many ways to do it. So feel free to try every idea which you have, because once you have tried them all, then you can decide for which one you go for the next performance or next practice day. And then the second day you can feel completely the opposite, but then you know how many options there are, and this is really something very well, I find it always very interesting just to know how many different ways of performing there are. Now we will stay a little bit with Chopin, because Andrew and Alexis were asking about the thirds in the coda of Ballade number 4, and yeah, the third is always indeed a kind of well, it looks already so black, right? I mean, you have those, look at that, I mean, you have those, it's just double black then, you see, it's so many notes, and I don't know. I understand that this, it's not the most comfortable thing for me to play as well, the thirds, but there are, of course, again, thinking about this musical idea, there are, of course, some ideas how to solve this, especially in these two bars. Well, first of all, when you have double notes, thirds, sixths, octaves, maybe, well, for me it is helpful to understand that both voices cannot be played on the same value and with the same weight. So you always decide for one melodic line. It will be the upper or the upper voice or the lower voice, but it should be one which is a little bit weaker, because you can. It's very difficult to play both. Doesn't matter octaves or, I mean, doesn't sound nice. You can go for the down lower voice or for the upper, whatever, but not both in the same volume. So here in the thirds, same thing. I go always in this. I would decide in this coda to go for the upper voice, and Chopin helps us a little bit, because he makes his phrasing very clear. He writes, look, he writes a sforzato. And the crescendo to the end of the phrase. So it means that in the beginning we start the thirds a little less heavy, so we play it very light. So basically the line is this is what is the melodical idea. So then we have so, and of course would say that it is possible to take a little time before those sforzati so that you finish the phrase, and of course the question of fingering in these thirds is very important. It is possible, especially in Chopin thirds, to really to use the one finger for, what is the word? I forgot the word. Oh, it's out of my head. When you are going from the black key to the white, so that you, in Chopin music, it is, or in his pieces, he writes himself very often, so that you really, let's say, in the second, in the bar 216, in the second triplet, we have the thirds. You can take this, the B flat and B natural, just sleeping, I think is the right word. Yes, using one finger for this third, because then it can be a little bit smoother. And don't always remember that the wrist should be always flexible, it should be free, it should not be stuck in one position, because this is like, yeah, this is like breathe. I would say that the wrist is like lungs, so you breathe with the wrist, and this is crucial that we always remember. Again, as we were saying about shoulders, same thing with the wrist, because if it's free, the sound will be immediately much more clear. Sabine was asking about the middle section of Opus 10, number 3, and Robert was asking about how to play double notes in both hands in the chord of the C sharp minor prelude. Again, same thing. We have to decide which voice. Here in this case, I would always go for the top voice in the right, upper voice in the right hand, and the low voice in the left hand, and then the rotation, the wrist rotation is here, in my opinion, essential, that you are really that you do not get stuck on every eighth note. It's same principle in the middle section of the Opus 10 number 3, that you rotate. This is really crucial. Same thing, Hazel was asking about the middle section of the, I have such a mess again here, middle section of the Fantasie Impromptu, with this very low, very big broken chords in the left hand, and here I would say here again you have to rotate, bring your wrist into the position where your thumb is going on, or then the fifth finger, which is also what the point was, is also important here, that you exactly know where it is not possible to play it with fingers 5, 3, that you really choose 5 and thumb. For instance, the bar. It's not possible to play this. Well, it is, but it doesn't make any sense. So we take here in the big jumps for use the thumb and then take the new pipe position. So that the hand is breathing. Very similar texture in the second scherzo. some questions to the trills, which is a very, very funny that this question comes very often, of course, and also with tremolo. This is actually, I think, similar thing. It depends on in which context the trill or the tremolo is written. Sometimes it is the trill is don't see it as just as a technical change. The trill is also an expression of something. For instance, I think there was also Kyoko asking about the trill in the yes, the trill in the E minor concerto, which looks like I just wrote the score, which looks like this here. So the meaning of the trill here is, of course, the crescendo, and it is moving to tutti, which means that we have to somehow to create a crescendo there. That's why I play personally here indeed. I do use the I accelerate the second two bars, and of course it's more like tremolo rather than a trill, because we need this power to give to give over to the orchestra, and that's why it is really important to do it. There are other types of trills. For instance, in the second movement of Rachmaninoff sonata, we have after this passage the trill can be played in different tempo, in different dynamics. It should also, the speed of the trill does not always have to be in the same, so you can start a little slower. Find the beauty in the trill. It is important because there is always a sense in it. It's not just not just a challenge. Another example would be, for instance, in the Liszt Piano Concerto Number 1, we have here the sense is actually like percussion, so we have it should not be a quick trill. I have many questions about how to practice the trill in the left hand. I think the ideal, you can practice it with different note values, so you can practice in quarters, in eighth notes, in triplets, in six, and whatever. But when you have trills in both hands, the goal should be that they are exactly parallel together. And sometimes it means that they might be a little bit slower, especially in this, again, low register. It means that it can be a little bit slower. So, and of course, if the tempo of the speed of the trill in this case will be depending on the left hand. So it's but find the musical reason, find the musical meaning in these trills, because then it will be much more comfortable. And one more example of different type of musical sense of the same effect, let's say, is the tremolo, because Helia was asking about the tremolo in Niche by Liszt, and here I feel it definitely as an atmosphere. So here it's not essential, in my opinion, to play them literally. It's more it's more snow, it's snow, or it's yeah, it's atmosphere. It is not something. It describes something which is not clear. So it means that you can indeed. And here for this, I would really stay in the key as do not really go very high with the fingers. Stay in the key, then you can go really soft. Same Annelies, same for the repetitions. You have to stay almost in the key, so you don't go out of the key. Stay in it. Another example of tremolo is in the Rhapsody number 12, where it is a completely different idea. So here the tremolo sounds like this. So here it is, it's dynamically very important. It supports this crescendo. So you can imagine orchestra. So it has a completely different meaning. It has a different idea. It helps. You need to be here more clear in the tremolo, so that the crescendo gets really it's explode. That's how I see it. So in every single technical challenge there is, in my opinion, is indeed a very important message, musical message, and we have to find it, and we have to concentrate on it when we decide to play the piece. It's I think it's just a part of it, and don't think too much about. Also, when you practice, find something beautiful in it. Find something which is important to you, and many things. Sometimes we really feel scared in front of some places or something. Then we have to find some other meaning in it, that we're not scared anymore. That we concentrate on a different meaning. That we concentrate on music, on the symbol of this passage of this place, but not just thinking about how we move our fingers and when, because then I think we will not be scared anymore. We will enjoy playing beautifully difficult passages. That's how what I would like to just share from my personal experience. But I think we will discuss some more practice issues in other streams again, because there are so many questions which came from you, and I'm very grateful to you for that. And we will go on for sure with this topic. So now we are moving to already number 11, Prelude and Fugue, which is slowly coming to the middle of the second book, which is wonderful F major set. F major is, the prelude is such a beautiful piece. It is, I don't know, for me it feels like maybe an organ piece. It has 5 voices, 5 parts, look. We have this movement, never-ending movement somehow, with different colors, with different moods, which makes it in a way very unpredictable, also in the modulations, which I think is very beautiful. And the mood of it is more maybe pastoral, but it's not. It has also some more dark moments, but the way Bach really the way he composed these 5 voices, this is absolutely amazing. Look, we have, it looks, because then some parts of them are just being kept. This is so beautiful, because then it reminds me a little bit now when I see it, it reminds me in a way on the first ballad. You know that we have the that also the fingers are staying same here. Very very unexpected modulations. Somehow it's quite big. Prelude can be also seen because there is a real recapitulation here, a kind of sonata form, and the fugue is again a new masterpiece. Is actually big contrast to the prelude. It's a kind of jig with in a rare time signature, by the way, 6/16. And it's again, like we know from other fugues, actually it's a little bit interesting because the subject starts like this. The fugue is in 3 parts, so the subject is like this. So tira-ta-tam, tara-ta-tam, tara-ta-tam. We have this jumps here, and important is when you perform it, I think it is important to realize that the first beat is on the jump note. Otherwise, if we play it has completely different meaning and character. So we think that the subject starts in the middle of the bar, and then we have this again. Even in this subject, we have some again hidden hidden lines. There are many beautiful episodes here, which are kind of development section. Using some parts of the second part of the subject. Yes, and then we come to the actually the interesting point in this fugue. Again, we have here again very small notes, which also gives us, I mean, very small means 30 seconds in the end, which gives us a link in which tempo we can play this fugue, because in the end, the last about 10 bars, they will have 30 seconds. So this is the place where we decide in which tempo we I have decided for myself in which tempo I play the fugue. So please enjoy the beautiful F major prelude and fugue from Bach to tempo Clavier, Johann Sebastian Bach. major Prelude and Fugue from Book 2, Johann Sebastian Bach, Well-Tempered Clavier. So, thank you so much for this conversation today, and yeah, we will keep going with the topic of practice, and please let me know your thoughts on what we have discussed. If yeah, what if you have tried something out, and what was your feeling about this? So please subscribe my channel if you like our sessions, and have a good week. Thanks a lot for joining, and see you next Thursday. Bye bye.